Let's look at another example of a passage-based question that's going to ask what inference can be made. Remember that with these types of tests and questions, you're going to need to read a passage, usually a pretty long one. Then you're going to need to answer a question that tests your reading comprehension or how well you understood what you just read, and tests your understanding of another topic, like making inferences or judging the author's purpose. To answer these questions correctly, you'll almost always have to go back into the passage, reread again, and hunt through each paragraph for an answer. Never select that answer until you can point to the paragraph or sentence in the passage that it came from. The passage we're going to be reading today is an excerpt from Team Moon, how 400,000 people landed Apollo 11 on the moon. Have this article open with you as you go through the question and try to select an answer. Let's begin. Our question is, based on the excerpt, what inference can be made about the complexity of the Apollo 11 mission? A, it was a straightforward mission with a clear plan from the beginning. B, the mission was constantly evolving and required innovative solutions. C, the team had a single, unchanging vision of the spacecraft needed. Or D, the mission was more about political rivalry than scientific achievement. Remember, when you're inferencing or you're making an inference, you're basically being a detective. It's asking you with this question to read between the lines of the passage and see if you can sort of guesstimate an answer. You're understanding or showing that you understand more about the passage just than what you have presented to you. You're going a little bit deeper. Pause here for a moment, reread the question, reread the passage, hunt through it, and see if you can find any hints that will help you find the answer. Now let's look at that answer. Based on the excerpt, what inference can be made about the complexity of the Apollo 11 mission? A, it was a straightforward mission with a clear plan from the beginning. Now, this isn't correct. The article talks about how they didn't know exactly how to get to the moon or how to land it first. This means the mission wasn't straightforward from the start. Skipping down to C, this one also is incorrect. The team had a single, unchanging vision of the spacecraft needed. This isn't true, according to the article. It talks about how the lunar module, or the LEM, ended up looking different than what they first thought. This means their ideas about the spacecraft changed over time. Notice how you might have been able to get rid of A and C just based on process of elimination. D was the mission was more about political rivalry than scientific achievement. This answer isn't the best choice. Even though the article talks about the space race with the Soviet Union, it also shows that the team was really focused on the scientific challenges and the excitement of going to the moon. B is the correct answer. The mission was constantly evolving and required innovative solutions. The article mentions that they had to figure out a lot of things and solve problems, like designing the lunar module, which they'd never done before. Nobody had ever done anything like this. This shows the mission kept changing and it needed new ideas from a huge group of people to make it into a success. B is the correct answer. And if you were successful in finding where that was at in the article, go back, reread, and highlight these sections from the article because this is where we found the answer. In paragraph 6, it said the final picture was altogether different from the dream. Most thought they'd be going straight to the moon with one spacecraft, land, and come straight back. Instead, as the plan evolved or changed, it called for two very different craft. So again, with B, the mission was constantly evolving and required innovative solutions. They actually used the word evolved there or changed, both within the paragraph in the passage and with your answer to the question, which might have helped out. Paragraph 8 also gave us something we could have used in where it said, that team at Grumman was 7,500 workers strong. They designed, developed, and built the lunar module. Reliability was insisted upon. They had a motto, there is no such thing as a random failure, and failures were eliminated one by one. They're saying essentially that there were a lot of problems. There were a lot of solutions that needed to come about because there were so many problems. You're getting the answer from paragraph 6 and 8 to help you determine that B is correct and what you need to choose when you're selecting the answer to this question.